When I lived in Omaha, I registered my car in Council Bluffs because it was about $500 cheaper.
That's true.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than I think, it was never even an issue.
Hey, Bob.
Recording in progress.
You said next to me.
Good evening, thank you for coming to the September 24th meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for coming. Tonight I just want to make one quick announcement. The food pantry is this Monday from 10 to 12 at the senior center. In addition to food, the school district has donated clothing and shoes as well. There's also free transportation with Rolling V, so they'll keep providing free transportation as long as people are utilizing it. So I hope people are still utilizing it. Paula, do we have any correspondence
I
tonight?
do. This is from Michael Kurtak and Wendy Kurtak to the Town of Fallsburg Supervisor and the Town of Fallsburg Town Board. My name is Michael Kurtak, and my wife Wendy and I live at 963 on Wild Road. In the summers past, the camp across the street would park their cars on the side of the road instead of in their parking lots. There are no parking signs on both sides of the road. The parking causes a problem when trucks come to deliver and have no place to park. This causes the trucks to stop in the middle of the road to deliver. This is a serious problem as the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. In the past, when my wife or I called the police department, nothing seemed to take care of the problem. I spoke to the previous chief of police about it. Still felt like nothing was done to take care of the problem. This year before the summer, I spoke to the new chief of police, Brendan Pavesi. The chief told me that if I called to report the cars, it would be taken care of. The first time I went to the police station to report the problem, 2 police officers were on the scene before I arrived home. The cars that day were removed. The second time I reported the problem, 2 police officers were again on the scene before I arrived home. After the second time, there was no longer a problem. My wife and I would like to thank the Chief of Police, Brendan Pavesi, and the police officers who responded for their prompt, courteous, and professional response. Sincerely, Michael Kurtak. And that is all I have.
Thank you. All right, so I'll go ahead and move on to public comments. Do we have anyone signed up to speak tonight?
I do not have anybody.
Would anyone like to speak tonight?
Yeah, okay, sure.
What did you say?
Yeah, it looks like we don't have any.
Oh, I didn't know it. I thought I just walked in, so I thought there was some few people before next year.
If somebody wants to
speak.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Adam, please sign in.
While everybody's waiting, I just want to back up Kurtak's letter. The new chief and the department have been very responsive and very professional
This is the agenda for tonight.
to a lot of people.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Gene.
All right,
You're just representing yourself, Adam?
it's the truth.
Are you representing yourself?
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead and stand there, just if you remember to speak clearly.
Loud,
Yes, please.
How's everybody doing today? Good. Okay, testing 1, 2. Alright, so I know last week when we were talking about possibly having a motion to raise the rates on the water and the sewer possibly. My thought, after I left the meeting, I was thinking that's the best we can come up with, and then we can have that block. So I went home, did some research and wondered if anyone ever thought about doing something like the public-private partnerships. So instead of actually having money come from the taxpayers, which usually is not a big thing that they like to do, it can come from other ways. And that would be public money, private money coming from private companies that, yes, that if you wanna go and look at some of the research that's been done in various municipalities throughout the country, it's worked in some cases, it's failed in others. It's all how it's laid out, how it's structured, how the lawyers write it up, how the lawyers basically figure it out. I know it's not something that's big with the public because they feel like, private industry is not something that should be involved in public, in public municipalities. However, I don't know of any other solution. Raising taxes is one thing, but raising taxes to come up with the money for the infrastructure seems like it's something that would take so long that, the timing is not something that we have. We are in a situation, I would call it crisis mode. There's other crises in the world that are going on that are worse, but this is up there when it comes to Fallsburg. And again, you have, the only thing it would actually do, I gotta say, is, you would bring all the groups together. The people that actually elected you, would have the same feeling that the people that want to raise taxes just on the Orthodox, I think it was 100%, one person mentioned, just on the Orthodox, you actually bring those people together, it's actually not like you. So that would actually unite the community in one way, but I don't think in the way you would like it. So, my recommendation honestly would be to at least look into something other than just the fact of raising taxes and look for other alternatives. I don't know if the public-private partnership is the way to go, but maybe at least look into it to see if it's an option and to at least explore it, because again, raising taxes, nobody likes it. It usually doesn't get people reelected, and it's just gonna be very bad for people. With that being said, that would just be on the water and the sewer. Then, you obviously have the deals that were made during your administration, regarding the police department. Now, if you're gonna actually hire anybody that's going to negotiate on behalf of the town, I would hire those guys because they made one hell of a deal, I gotta say. I don't fault them for what they got. If I already get that deal, I would take lifetime benefits and all that stuff. But I just don't understand how you can offer such a deal when, like, I don't wanna say Rome was burning, we're not Rome here. But, well, we're definitely not, because Rome actually put out the fires after 6 days. We don't even have water to probably even do that. But you make deals that, like, we just can't back up. And it's only gonna get worse, because now you're gonna have all these young kids coming in 20 years when they retire, and they collect another lifetime benefits for 20 years after that. By that time, this town is gonna be in a worse state than it already is, which is pretty bad as we speak. The last thing I do wanna say, I know that this is, you don't have to answer questions, because you would never have. I'm not asking a question in front, so I already know that. But, when people come up and they say, Jews don't pay, the Orthodox don't pay taxes, some residents don't pay taxes, the same people that voted you in office, why don't you at least respond and just say to them, or sir. That's not true, it's not the case, because what it creates is anti-Semitism. And it just gets worse and worse every year that I've been here. When they say that, and then they say, oh, the best was when they wanted to raise the rates just on the Orthodox for the summer months, 100%. Again, to not have, to not just say, that's not how things should be done, or that's not fair, that doesn't make sense. Especially when you're talking about people that live here that actually have way more part of what they, a way bigger portion of the share that they actually use, that they, meaning the school district, let's say, okay? We all know they don't use the school, right, but they still pay the taxes for the school. They hear 2 minutes out of the year, yes, they pay a condo tax, I get that, but it's still, what people don't understand is, the ones that say they don't pay taxes, obviously they're uninformed, I don't want to say they're ignorant, but, because they just did. It just makes for a dangerous combination of people, and if they're not going to be informed, if you're not going to correct them when they speak, then, I don't know, at least have some sort of a Q&A when they can ask these questions. I know they can't do it here, so I'm not asking a question, I promise again. But just to inform these people, and then this way, maybe it sets this down in a place where not, the locals don't hate the summer people, and the summer people can, can just get what they want, come up here in the summertime, enjoy the summer, bring growth to the county, to the town, and sign. So yeah, so kind of since somebody wants to sign, I'm gonna leave it at that. But so yeah, the main thing I just wanted to bring up was, like I said, other than raising taxes, to just look at some other ideas other than that, because it's just a very bad thing for politicians who are looking to get re-elected. And again, I feel like, it hasn't always worked in all these places, but in the 10 places that I looked it up, there's 6 out of 10. If my math is correct, that would be 60%. So I guess I'll leave it at that and hope that come up with something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, the last board meeting, the board enacted a rule regarding a 3-minute limitation on comments. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Does that include us?
That was talked about.
Public
I thought that was talked about.
Yes,
I
yes,
thought
Bobby.
that was talked about, but I didn't.
I don't think that was.
Everyone-
Yes.
it's gonna be a tough one, Bobby.
Yeah, I knew it was.
Thank you, Lord.
The rest of the resolution, but the resolution for the 3 minutes was in.
Yeah, it is. But I think that was less than 3 minutes.
You keep Just remind, just
So
remind.
when do you start though, from the time you get up there?
Do we have anyone else that would like to
We
speak
have a
today?
timer that we will be using, it's fine.
If you're,
Is it an
You're
hourglass?
fine, you're fine.
We should get an hourglass, something like that.
Can't afford one yet.
egg timer.
And that's time.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else online want to speak?
I have no way.
Nope.
Nope. All right, I have one person that wants to speak. Please step up, sign in.
Maybe some shady, please step up.
Put my timer on.
It's not gonna take me a minute.
Time's up.
I
What's
just,
next to boil?
I was trying to study a little bit what people were talking about aquifer and trying to make sense out of it. It seems like, to me, it doesn't make any sense, but I was trying to figure out what's in their head. So there's a major problem with the piping, that everyone agrees. Fallsburg probably has enough water. There's a problem with the piping, and they don't want the pipes to get fixed. So they can use an excuse, oh, there's too much going on, we have to fix in the aquifer. They're searching for excuses, and they themselves know there's no excuses. People who claim that we should live every person on 10 acres, they themselves live on a quarter acre. So they want to apply rules to others, but they should still live on a quarter acre. It's just, I mean, their intentions are obvious, I just want the board to be aware of it. There is broken pipes, it has to be fixed regardless of what's happening in Fallsburg. Thank you so much for taking my time to speak.
Thank you.
It was less than a minute.
All right, anyone else want to speak before we close the public portion? All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and close the public portion, and we're gonna move on to department head updates. First up is our assessor, Winnie.
What I got, 2 minutes?
All the time that you need, no limits.
You get 4 because you put up with me earlier today.
Oh, that was? Alright, I got you. I did like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
I'm gonna talk more about that.
Yeah,
I was talking to
yeah.
Jen about it earlier.
Oh, okay, okay. Look, I'm in for one cheese. I'll never give you a gift. You want one?
You got one?
I want one. Okay, so, the packet's a little bit smaller than usual only because we didn't have a data collector for 2 months. So we're kind of a little behind on getting out there and, getting the data on some new permits. So the front page, usual, just kind of gives you an idea, open permits, if you look at those numbers. You know, I'm sure Greg is probably, giving you pretty similar numbers to what we have. The deed count there you see for August as well. So instead of giving you the list of developments that are in right now, we haven't touched them. We have not been able to. So now that Wesley's with us now, both proposals is the first one, they're out there. Paulette and Wesley both have been out there getting that data. But this one pretty much is the same, there's just one new one. It's the one that says request for New York State AG letter. And that's really the only new one that I have gotten anything on, so that's a letter I have to do for them, but there's some issues on it that we have to clarify before we do that, so that's pretty much the same as well. Other than that, again, like I said, no data collectors now that Wesley's there, they're running out to get all the info that they need to get. I can talk again about exemptions, anybody who needs an exemption for the public, please call the state for STAR, enhanced STAR. You could probably still get on it for this year's school, so if you're not on it, you think you should be on it, give a call. And also New York State is sending out letters right now, please do not ignore them. If they need information from you, please answer those letters or you will lose the exemptions you have. If you're not sure, call my office, come in, we'll read them, we'll help you with it. We can even fax them from our office, so just let me know. Okay, good? What was I?
Under 3
Nobody
minutes,
Nobody
good to go.
told me.
No limit for you.
Good to go.
All right, next up would be Randy Jones, utility collection.
Everything's going well, made it through another season at least. This time of year, we play catch-up, we do a lot of servicing on the pump stations, we clean the check valve, pull the pumps, grease everything, clean everything down, get ready for next season. We're doing some work on, I think there's 8 alarm systems in different pump stations, we're changing those over, eliminate the police station out of those, so they don't have to call at night. It'll dial straight to our cell phones instead of going to the police station. Changing around certain personnel, going to Anthony, so we gotta hire somebody else to take his place. I have one new guy already that was only working for like 4 months here, so he's still a rookie. But it's just a learning curve now. I got one guy because his secretary left, so he's been in the office of mine for now like a month and a half. So we hired somebody for that position too. He's supposed to start, I think, the 7th, I believe. But we're just shorthanded. In a couple weeks, we should be back on track and start getting everything back to normal. That's about it.
Thank you, Randy. Next up is Bobby. We get a new
Back
page.
the end.
Alright, we're making progress, we got, I think I gotta get behind us. The leak on 42, the hydrant in Hurleyville, I got issues at Countryside Way, I got 27 Edelweiss, I've got 1,000 other things. Tomorrow we're planning on doing a hydrant, in front of the Browns Hotel. Mysteriously, that thing got hit last winter and it disappeared. So as we know, I have ISO coming to do fire flow tests for our insurance ratings on everybody's insurance. So I need to get some of these things plugged in so we can do a proper flow test and everything. We have tons of work. The weather's been decent. We've been trying to catch up, like Randy said. I'm waiting for the onslaught of turnoffs. I don't know if they're waiting for the new holiday coming up, 10 days of the Sukkot, I believe it is. But we haven't gotten hit with the turnoffs. So that's gonna be coming up. And like Randy said, we have a new guy coming in the office. Well, he's gonna have to have his guy sit in the office and train the new guy. Because this is not a turnkey thing. There's a lot of new lingo, a lot of new computer work, a lot of new bombardment of phone calls, that the new guy is not gonna have any idea what he's talking about. So, there's a learning curve on everything. I would have loved to still have my old secretary there, retired prematurely on us, but who knew everything and did fabulous work. It's reality. When I walk out the door, when Randy walks out the door, it's gonna be a new learning curve for the new people. Because of the 30 years of plus experience we have, we don't have to second guess a lot of things. We can answer those questions. So, in reality, every day's a new day and we're trying to make progress. But my biggest goal is 42 job, the Hurleyville hydrant, 27 otherwise, and a lot of other things like this. Emergencies that pop up every day. I got 2 elderly ladies that called in, one yesterday, one today, that are a challenge, if I may say correctly. That they're seeing things out of their faucet that nobody else is seeing. Unfortunately. So, I say, every day is a new day and every day is a new challenge. It's a different phone call. What's today's emergency gonna be? So, we're taking day by day and we're moving on. I'm not looking forward to winter, but it's behind us, it's coming.
The 42 project, do we have any dates?
Yes, sir, now we tested, I got proposal, $30,000 to do that job. I sent the email to Mike, Ken, Randy, Hayden. I haven't got any feedback yet, except for Mike saying he wants Ken's blessing on it. I haven't heard back from Ken. So I don't know if he's playing I don't want to know, or I don't want to know, or let everybody else make a decision, but that has got to get done. I did get a phone call from Jason Pantel congratulating on us that we got made through the season. He was no more complaints, but the window was closing.
Bobby, you'll hear from Ken on Thursday when he's here.
I know, but I said, the window is closing. We had a whole month of negative weather here. No rain, no nothing. The faster he gets back to me, the faster I get this guy in there to get this job done. We get rid of the hose, we walk away and say, hey, that's behind us. This is on my back. I take it home every night. What happens if somebody vandalizes something? What happens if somebody runs over the fire hydrant? What happens if, there's a lot of what ifs. I want this behind us. Again, so I'm waiting to hear back. I don't want to be a pin in the butt here, but it's got to get done relatively quickly.
Yeah. Freezes, right?
Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong here, and yes, so I got to get back with the DOT about setting up traffic signs. And,
How long does the job take?
well, that's still a mystery until we actually break ground and see what's broken. I went ahead and ordered insulated pipe. So when we do break ground, I had the material here to make the repair and say, oh no, we have to wait on the supply chain to get me the material. I ordered the material already. Just so when we're not sitting there saying, oh, we have to wait now, we don't have the right stuff. I took it upon myself to do that. Order pipe to get the material, so when we do get it broken over, we can make the repair and walk away in a timely fashion, and we get it blacktop and everything else, and.
The number Bobby's talking about is just later.
Yep, see you later, I'm done. But yeah, this is I take home tonight. I met with Chris Sutton today, he's gonna be doing a job at 27 otherwise. I spoke with Mr. Carty, he's gonna be actually using Mr. Carty's backyard to get the backhoe in to do the job.
Another broken,
There's a service line broken, that's not the town's problem, but I'm getting emails from Aileen Gunther's office, I'm getting emails from the neighbor, Mr. Carty knows well about it. I had to jump one house to the other, let the area dry out, it was so saturated. Now it's been 2 weeks. It's dry, he can go in there tomorrow and do the job. There's a lot of pre-planning on this stuff, it's not just, oh yeah, let's go ahead and do it. But, again, I don't want to pass the 10-minute timeline, so, see you guys later. Yes, ma'am?
Can I ask a question?
You can ask me anything you want.
So, I believe over the last few winters, there have been some, when the water doesn't get turned off properly, then there are either.
Broken pipes, yes, a freezing
Or
pipe,
leaks.
it's gonna get even worse.
So, but I'm just wondering, is it possible for us in some way to remind people how to do it properly?
We tried to
get
put them out on the
newspaper?
bills, try to put them on their bills, have your water shut off. And what's happening now is, a lot of the people are buying houses that have, say, my mom's house, been there 50 years. If I sold that house today, and say, a different entity bought it, and they might have used it as an Airbnb, they might have used it for the summer months, and walked away, and now we get into October, November, who's reminding these people to have that water shut off, that the house is gonna be unoccupied for the next 3 or 4 months? We go around all the time in the wintertime, well, there's frozen water, frozen windows, there's water running out the house, there's icebergs on the side of the houses. Well, it's up to me and my staff to pay attention as we're driving around. Oh, that house is vacant right now. There is people living there.
Well, what about when it's private property, these large developments, they're private?
Well, that's going through the master meter, so theoretically, it's going through the master meter, we're getting revenue.
Okay.
That's why the master meters are so important to us, because I can open up that master meter pit and say, wow, you guys are going through 50 gallons a minute, and there's nobody here. Hey, Mr. Caretaker, you have broken pipes someplace. But we're actually getting paid for the water at that time, as opposed to not.
Leaks. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
All right, last up is Anthony.
That was 10 minutes probably, too long.
How's it going?
He borrowed your time, Eddie.
Okay,
This is reclaiming my time, that's it.
we've been patching, ditching, Laurel and Pleasant Valley were striped by the county. We've been paving, we've done Edwards, Becky's Hill, Hill Street, Human Road, Bertholf, Carly. We got about 60, 70 ton to go on the Forest, and there's a couple more roads we're gonna be doing as we go. We've done some ditch work at Morningside. The beavers are a problem over on Mongup, where Lucas was out there with the boat last week, kinda got stuck out there with Jason, but whatever, we got him back, no problem. And that's basically what we've been, what's been going on here. So we're just trying to button up before winter. We got some more patching to do. I gotta do a road for Bobby by above Stewart's there at the water tower, put millings on it for him so he can get up and down this winter. And we got a little bit of patchwork to do, get ready, get the trucks ready for the winter. That's all I got. Yes.
Last year, the town vacuums the culverts.
Okay.
And the leaves
Yep.
there, and somebody said something about the machine broke down.
Yeah, the old backhaul,
Yeah.
it's in pretty tough shape, so
You
we're
know-
hoping when we're done paving here in the next 2 weeks probably, we'll start going around and try to suck up some of the leaves,
Okay, they're
before
falling.
the rain, rain and snow really
Okay,
clog things up.
great.
Thank you.
Are people responsible to, if they have weeds or something growing in the culverts, who's responsible to remove that?
The weeds in the culvert, like, we can come, if it needs to be ditched, we can ditch it, we'll get on a list, but, if it's in your driveway, it's your,
No, it's not in the, it's in the first 4 feet of properties where there are culverts, but a couple of houses, they're filled with weeds.
Are you talking about culverts or drainage ditches?
I'm talking about culverts, and they are used, it's the
So
water
the water
flows
runs
through
through,
it.
off the edge of the road, you're saying, down the ditches, through the pipes. Yeah, listen, grass grows, it's, we can come scrape the grass out, but then grass is gonna grow back, it doesn't, it does not grow, so you're always gonna have some kind of vegetation there.
Is the homeowner responsible to keep it relatively clean?
For the most part, yes.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Anthony.
Yep.
All right, so tonight we only have 2 agenda items. So let's move on to the first one. Number 1, motion to approve town board minutes dated 9/10/2024.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 2, motion to approve town board minutes dated 9/17/2024.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Do I have any additional motions, including the motion to adjourn or enter into executive session? Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion, do I have a
Second.
second? I have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't need a second on the motion to adjourn.
If that's the case, we are adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
I like your letters.
I mean, we do have some.
Richard, nothing pressing.
There's like a one-way road.
Granny Smith had one.
County.
I think right
There's no notice. So there's a traffic light here now. So traffic lights are 3.
Correct, that's the
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We probably should put out some kind of.
Sure, Sean.
Just saying.
County.